Jonathan Pollard was a civilian analyst for the Navy when he was given a life sentence in 1985 for selling classified information.
You were tormented and tortured. What kind of information were they trying to get out of you?
The identity of my team. And there was no way I was going to tell them that. I just would rather go down with my mouth shut, frustrating them. They wanted me to implicate many of the American Jewish leaders. They basically wanted to decapitate the American Jewish leadership by implicating them in a foreign intelligence operation. I couldn't agree to implicate them in something that they were innocent of. So I kept my mouth shut on that.
Were they trying to see if there's a Jewish conspiracy, a Jewish plot?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And they believed there was who they called a Mr. X, a Jewish fellow in the government that I was protecting. They wanted me broken. And that was something that I just absolutely refused to. I'm kind of stubborn. Well, according to some of my daughters, I'm very stubborn. So I wasn't going to satisfy them with a broken Jew.
I'm thinking about those gates that were closed upon your face. Have you found the way to forgive Israel, the country Israel, for that?
It isn't a question of forgiveness with the people of Israel. That isn't it. But it's with the government. Because I found out the hard way that external intelligence agency in Israel knew exactly what was happening to me when I was being interrogated. And they gave their assent to me being interrogated.
In a very brutal way.
In an exceptionally brutal way. And that still is a problem for me, because any system that can do that to an individual can do it to a group. And I saw that happen on October 7th.
In what way?
I saw the result of government indifference to the welfare of our people. I know what it's like to be in that position where you're going to die. And you just keep saying, come rescue me, come help me, do something. As many of our people apparently down south did, and nobody came. So the lesson that I've learned from my personal life was realized on a macro scale, if you will, on October 7th. And this is why I had a feeling, I couldn't put my finger on it, but when I came here, I felt something horrible was going to happen. I knew, definitely.
You knew.
In the months leading up to October 7th, I actually did what I was trained to do. On one side column, I put down everything that was going on in the anti-judicial reform campaign, particularly as it affected the Army. And then there were 3 columns next to each event, reaction from Hamas, Hezbollah, and Iran. And after 3 months of compiling this information, I came to the conclusion that there was going to be a war. There was going to be a war. And I asked people from the South, military people that I know from the South, what are these demonstrators doing? And they said, well, they look like they're blowing holes in the fence. Okay, what else? Well, some of them are weird. They're cutting holes in the fence and they're just standing there. I said, well, they're not looking to hitch a ride for shawarma in Beersheba. They're looking for reaction time.
Did you tell anyone?
Yes, I told a lot of people. And I explained why I felt that way. And they called me an alarmist and somebody that was not seeing reality correctly.
Who did you tell back then?
A lot of people. In the Knesset, in the Kiryah, academics.
You took all the facts, you brought them together, and you understood what's going on, and they just didn't listen.
I was stopped And I was told, why are you wasting our time? I didn't think of the possibility of hostages. When people say, you don't understand, these hostages are being tortured, I understand what that means. Every step I take, every time I get into bed, every time I try to sit down and go to the bathroom, I remember the pain. I mean, my back is broken in 4 places. It can't be repaired. Was I raped? Yes, I was raped for weeks.
So sorry.
Okay? So I understand very well what our people being held by these monsters may be going through.
Do you think America has Israel's best interests in mind?
No.
That's scary.
The most tragic mistake they've made is not doing everything humanly possible to stop the Iranian nuclear weapons program.
The U.S. is our best ally, our dearest friend.
Really?
That's how he feels.
I should show you what my back looks like. I should explain to you what it's like for a man to be raped. I should explain to you what it's like to have your toes and ankles and knees and fingers broken by our friends.
Final question. So many things have been written on you, so many interviews. What is that one thing that we don't know yet about you, about your story?
How sorry I am that I wasn't more effective. I did my best, but in retrospect, I see now I could have been more effective, and that's the one personal regret that I have that I guess I'll never get over.
You are a great man, Jonathan.
I wish my daughters would feel that way.
Thank you so much for this
It's my
interview.
pleasure, Mary.